Hi, what's going on guys? It's Almond. Welcome back to another Wizard101 video. In today's video, I'm going to go over the best spot to farm for Weft yarn in Wizard101. Now, this is just my opinion from my experience, right? You guys can do whatever way you like. But in my opinion, this is the fastest way to get yarn, and I will showcase that to you. So if you do enjoy this type of content, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all type of stuff. Join Discord if you guys haven't. We're close to 1.1k members in the Discord. And yeah, let's talk about it. So to get to this specific portion or wherever I'm at, we have to fight Rotten Rob. The way that you get to Rotten Rob, whatever, is you have to be weaving specifically into Storm. Now, obviously, if you've already completed this before, you do not have to be currently weaved into Storm. But if you want to unlock Rotten Rob, pay attention to the Storm weaving guide that I uploaded like yesterday. That will tell you how to go through Storm weaving and whatever. But during the rank 1, you do encounter Rotten Rob. This guy is very easy. It's a good source of yarn. Now, every single weaving path have a similar fight to Rob. Just the thing is their HP is a little bit different, their cheats a little bit different, and there's different mechanics behind it, right? So basically with Rotten Rob is that it's teaching you how Storm works, essentially. He puts a bunch of dots on you, and you have to clear it. You have to use a Storm counter. So that would be considered Zilla, that would be considered lightning bats, just a bunch of variations of those spells, right? I don't currently have any spells, I believe, on me that I can show you. Oh, there we go, we have Zilla. So for example, I have Storm Zilla right here, and it shows that, hey, it clears dots and you get blades for it. Basically, Storm douses fire. So that's the basic premise of this fight, right? Pretty straightforward. You can use anything that's a clear dot. It can be a lightning bats, it can be a Stormzilla, it can be a Leviathan, but that's what you have to use in this fight. But what we're going to do is we're going to one round it, basically speed it up a lot, right? And the way that you one round it is you want to have a build similar to Phoenix. Phoenix made this build. I just didn't have the time to do it, so I asked him to make the build for me. But if you look at his build real quick, is that he is a fire wizard weaving into Storm, of course. But if you look at his damage, he has 224 storm damage. Now, is this the amount of damage you need to do this? Not necessarily, right? And he has like accuracy and stuff like that, and he has enough pips. He doesn't need to worry about pierce because he pierced all the way through, and you also boost on this boss. And you need specifically around 220 damage if you only are using tier 2 Stormzilla. I believe tier 2 Stormzilla is equivalent to the TC variation. So if you want to use, you know, the TC variation of Stormzilla, you can. But the thing is, you also get to use an epic enchant. So that's why I don't recommend using TC. But having it trained will give it 300 extra damage, which makes it one round, of course. So the amount of damage you actually do need to do this is only 220 if you have tier 2 just trained on your school, right? Or if you have tier 5 Stormzilla path B, you just need 202 damage. Now it's very easy, very achievable. I want to mention this. If you even just look at where he's getting all this damage from, is he has 2 sword pins on his hat, robe, and boots, and he's not even using min-max sword pins. I want to clarify that. His pet, he's even using a fire damage pet, but it has like 2 damage talents right there. And then of course he is using headmaster staff, so if you could argue like, you know, hey, this is kind of a bit of win, but you can just use any wand realistically. Athame, you can see he's just using a universal Athame that has like, you know, some damage on it, and then he's socketing on some storm damage. He has a mastery, of course, so he can cast a spell round 1. His ring, he has 10% extra damage, and that's realistically it, right? You can definitely make this setup. It's very easy. It doesn't have to be this exact piece of gear, but just roughly having the damage and the accuracy to even cast the spell round 1. So let's do a run with Phoenix, and you guys can see what exactly how, or just in general, what this looks like in the fight. So here we have Rotten Rob, very straightforward, and we're going to have Phoenix going first. It doesn't matter the order, but I'm not even going to be attacking Rotten Rob. This is just an example of what it would look like to solo, right? So I'm going to pass, I'm not going to do anything. But imagine if Phoenix was soloing this fight. Here we have him use his spell. You can see at the bottom, 980 damage. He has a tier 5, of course, but he has way above the damage that he needs required for this fight. But if we pass, you can see Rotten Rob doesn't do his cheat, right? But you can see Stormzilla's casting, and it would actually kill Rotten Rob. And you can see how much yarn we're getting. The yarn is going to be varied. You're going to have an average around a certain amount of numbers. Like you get 10 to 15, and then you have a random chance at getting like 100 yarn. Like he even did 8.2. I'm pretty sure that's what the crit, I would assume. And that's it, right? And ignore that. That's just my make acid thing. Just don't worry about that. And then you can see the yarn that I'm going to get right here. 12. And I believe, how much did he get? Let's see, is he going to tell us? He actually got 15 yarn. So you get 12, 15, around there, like around 10 to 15, and then you can get a random chance of 100. But you can literally solo this, and it's in Triton Avenue. So like, for example, if you just want to farm yarn in your own time, whatever, and your membership ran out or something, you can literally just come here and just farm it. Now, there's some clarifications that I wanted to go over. Is that how do you unlock this? Of course, like I said, watch the previous video on the guide of how to actually do storm weaving and stuff like that. But can a storm wizard do this? I know a lot of people can be like, can I just bring my friend? Like, he's a storm wizard, can he just do this? Not necessarily, because storm wizards don't even have access to this dungeon. Because it's specifically from storm weaving. A storm cannot weave into storm. So that's why we're using the benefits of just straight up just cosplaying, because this isn't really dual schooling. He's just cosplaying as a completely different school. He has more damage than his own school. But it's just like he has the ability to do something like this. So if you want to farm yarn, honestly guys, just in my opinion, Rob is going to be your best bet. And like I said, there's other weaving paths that have a similar boss fight to this, right? Their HP varies. If you're with a group of people, you can definitely one round them. But this is the one fight, in my opinion, that you can do on your own. You don't need anybody with you. You just need either tier 2, path B, or tier 5, and then you can like differentiate your numbers for how much storm damage you need. Of course, he still needs to rock a mastery to be able to do this. He still needs 100% power pips, right, to be able to not fail pip. And then of course he needs accuracy to not fizzle a spell. But that's pretty easy, because if he, if you put on your pins and everything like that on your gear, like he's not even using a power pin here. Like if he had full power pins, and then of course if he was using like Wastelander hat for another power pin, you can easily achieve a pretty big build. I just didn't have the time to be able to make like the quote-unquote min-max build for cosplaying storm on a fire, but like you don't need the most absurd setup, right? Him having just even like low level pins and not even having full power pins socketed on a storm, and not even having like a quote-unquote amazing pet, just being able to set up something like this, just having the correct amount of damage and making sure you have a mastery, is going to be your best bet. So highly recommend that you farm this if you want to farm yarn. I know a lot of people are wanting to craft the dual school jewels for your school and then like whatever school. So this is just a good source. So you can literally farm this and then craft jewels for other weaving paths as well. But overall, in my opinion, this is going to be your best spot to farm. Animation efficient. You can solo it, you can do it with multiple people as well, but keep in mind that he does summon minions. So for example, if Phoenix were to kill the boss, I just would have to use like Meteor or something like that to kill the minions, which is just a little bit more animations, but it's not that bad. But that's of course with only 2 people, we don't have the minions. But if we had a 3rd and 4th person, there would be minions, and I would actually have to AoE after Phoenix's hit. So do that. Don't use Phoenix's hit before, because he'll just revive. So for example, if I hit before Phoenix, Rotten Rob would actually come back alive, and it's just more animation time. So just to save yourself some time, make sure that whoever's using Stormzilla is in slot 1, and then the rest can just be whoever. So that's just my opinion, my take on this. And yeah, so hopefully this video taught you something brand new. But yes, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. But make sure you guys watch the previous video about like the storm weaving and stuff like that. That will teach you more about Rotten Rob, more about storm weaving, how to get into weaving, everything like that. That just tells you everything that you need to know. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all type of stuff. Join Discord, like as I always say. Appreciate everyone that's been joining Discord, or even appreciating all the guides. A lot of these guides will be in the Discord, of course. So I appreciate all of you guys. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.